Welcome to the Matt Beck Podcast. Woke up this way. He's got a lot of cool stuff he's gonna show you today. The latest news, industry topics, and business tips. For all hairstylists and salon owners, it's time to flip the script. Grab your precision scissors, barber combs, and swivel twist razors. Let's cut a bob, a quick shag, pixie cut with a little bit of flavor. Check out the live classes, product reviews, let's rock on. Don't forget to check out freesaloneducation.com. I woke up this way. It's gonna be a great day. Chop it, clip it, spray it, flip it. I woke up this way.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. All right, so I'm going to let everybody get logged in, start posting in the chat. Feels good to be back. What's up, Lynn? I see you. Jess, Adele. All right, guys, like always, if you're new to the show, then type new in the chat. Oh, I'm coming back. Here we go. Already difficulties. If you're new to the show, type new in the chat. If you're an OG, you've been watching this show, we're now at episode 59. 59 classes since March. So thank you guys so much for hanging in there. I see your questions. I will answer them. Sonia, good to see you. Welcome. You see, I'll move that here. Denise, good to see you. Edna, welcome. We're going to have some fun today, guys. Got a really cool cut plan for you. We're going to break it down. We're going to do the MILEY CYRUS mullet, but it's going to be salon friendly. So it won't be like, it's not Billy Ray Cyrus mullet, MILEY CYRUS mullet. Annalise, what's up? Welcome. Very cool, very cool. What's up, Denise? Thanks. I don't know if you're talking to me or not. Debbie, good to see you. Sergio. Very cool. Lots of new people in the chat. Love seeing that. If you guys could do me a favor and just share the show with anybody that you can, whatever social platform you're on, just hit that share button. If you're on YouTube, you can grab the link and just share it on Facebook or Instagram, share it in your stories, whatever it is. Tag me if you can. Let's try to get as many people in this room as possible. It just gets to be more fun that way. Also, this show, Woke Up This Way, that we've been doing now for 59 episodes, is brought to you by my friends at minervabeauty.com. If you're looking to upgrade your salon furniture, go check them out. They're the best in the business. They got the best shipping times, best prices, best quality, all of that. They furnished our salon. It's all Minerva equipment. So definitely go check them out. And if anything, just go follow them on Instagram at Minerva Beauty, and you can get inspired by all the pictures that they post about different salons. This free education doesn't really happen without great companies like Minerva Beauty. So thank you to them for sponsoring the show. All right. So let's see. Show me the mullet. All right. So I'm going to show you guys the mullet. I'm actually going to pull that up right now. I want to share with you guys what we're going to be cutting today. And I want to break down my thoughts. Also, let me answer Adele's question real quick. So Adele was asking why I said, here's the question here. Let's see. Adele, Q. Let me pull questions up here. Big question. Shrink it down. All right. So Q. The 4-session class, why did you say this? You do not need to cut hair to be a part of the class. Grab a cup of coffee and a notebook and practice on your own time if you choose. So Adele, this is why I said it. And this is what Adele is talking about because I launched a class. Let me move it over here. So we do these live classes. I've done 59 of them. They're free. The difference between the virtual haircutting workouts that I'm launching starting next Monday, and it's going to be 4 Mondays in a row. It's $99. I understand that it's not free, but the reason it's not free is because, first off, I'm using a platform that costs money, and then also this is a more interactive thing. So I've always charged for hands-on classes. Obviously, I'm not doing hands-on classes right now, so I wanted to create a virtual experience for you guys in a way that we could just kind of work out together, cut hair together, and I would be able to see you guys cutting hair. So With that being said, I can only allow so many people on the class so that I can obviously see all of you guys. So it's a $99 investment, but that's the biggest difference. So I'll be able to see you. Now, why would I say you don't have to cut hair? Well, some people don't want to buy a mannequin yet, or they just want to watch the classes. I just wanted to leave it open for people that if they don't want to cut hair and they don't feel like they could keep up or whatever it is, if they just want to buy into the class, they can be a part of the class and watch and ask questions, and I can see them, but they don't actually have to cut hair if they don't want to. So I'm not forcing anybody to cut hair is really the reason, Adele. So I hope that helps you out. If you want to get tickets to this event, I'm only selling them through Friday this week because then I'm shutting it down, and then you won't be able to get it until the next one that we do, because it's a group that we're taking on together, and we're going to do the 4 sessions together. You can't buy into it later. So it's, again, $99. Go to shopfse.com. Let me see if I can put up right here. So shopfse.com, the link right there. And you can click right on the flyer and you can purchase a ticket. And you can purchase the ticket from anywhere in the world, which is great. That's kind of the biggest difference with this class as opposed to any of my other hands-on. It's hard for you guys to fly all over the place, but this will allow people from all over to be a part of it. The class will be in English. A lot of people have asked questions about whether it's going to be in Spanish or anything else. I don't speak other languages, unfortunately. So it will be in English. But if you speak English and you want to be a part of the class, I would love for it. Or if you don't speak English and you just want to watch it, watch my hands, you can do that too. All right, cool. So that's it. Let's see. So I want to let me pop that off here. All right, so we're going to break down this Miley Cyrus haircut here. Let's look at it. So I've got a few different versions. This is what I like to do, and this is what I want to kind of invite you guys in to understand what I do in a consultation when a client would bring in a picture. What I would do is look up multiple images of that haircut, right? So what I did with the Miley Cyrus haircut is I first looked at this image, and she wears it multiple ways. So that was one of the biggest things about this. And when you watch her wear it multiple ways, you'll kind of understand why that's important. So let's see. All right, so if you look at the haircut, it's real short through the top, but it's not like the typical mullet feel. So we got to leave a little extra length. I love the heaviness in the fringe that kind of opens up her face. So these layers are obviously short and pulled off the face. So I automatically know that I'm going to be cutting a rounded shape following the round of the head so that the hair flows off of the face. Then it gets kind of long in the back, but not super long. And so it keeps the haircut very trendy, versatile. I could see a lot of different people wearing this cut. So that's image number 1. Then from the same event, we'll look at image number 2. This is more of a straight on look. So now I can kind of see some other layers popping out of the sides. So it gives me more of an idea of how long those layers are and how they were cut. Now the next one is super fun because it's curly, right? So let me see if I can make that a little bigger. So because it's curly, you can really start to see how it's cut on the sides, how that is all kind of one length, cut layered. And then it gets just long and disconnected towards the back right behind the ear there. So that's what I look for, is when you see it worn multiple different ways, you can start to see the pattern of how it was cut. And then last image here is another cool one, worn a little bit curlier. If it were up to me, I'd love to style it more like this, but we'll try to do both today. But this shows you that heaviness, how it's all just kind of forward, cut rugged and blunt, and then kind of flows back on the head. So for me, I'm already thinking I want to cut a shattered fringe, all this one length layered through, and then we're going to section off the sides and create a disconnection on the underneath, if that makes sense. So, all right, cool. So what do you guys think? Are you excited? If you're excited, post that in the chat. Let me know. The more you write in the chat, the more people get to see it. So, all right, cool. This is a good one. So Alan's saying I love her mullet so much. Me too. All right. So tool of choice today, I'm going to be using the carving comb. Now, let me hold it here. So this is the carving comb. It has a 50% cutting side and 100% cutting side, and then a fine tooth comb. There's also a wide tooth version as well. All of these tools are available on Shop FSE. So if you guys are looking to upgrade, they're $39. You can buy them, and there you go. So I'm going to be using the fine tooth comb today because I want to do a little bit more precision work with my combing. But other than that, I'm going to stick with the fine tooth and the 100% cutting side. We'll do a little bit of the 50% as well. Love the carving comb. Very cool. So all of you guys that have bought a carving comb in the past, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Another reason why these classes can be free, right? You guys supporting it up. All right. Thank you, Lynn. All right, so let's section her off. And those of you guys that were on my class yesterday on Sam Via's channel, I really appreciate you guys jumping on there and supporting as well. That was really awesome. All right, let me see here. I did too much talking, now she's drying up. All right, and those of you guys that are new to these classes, we have multiple camera angles, so I will be switching and flipping so you guys get good views of what I'm doing with my hands here. And we also have an overhead camera view as well, so I'll be showing you guys that throughout this when it's needed. All right, so sectioning. Based on the picture, what I want to do is kind of separate the fringe section first. So I'm going to comb everything back, straight back to me. I'm going to find tip of her nose, use that as a guide with my eyes, and draw a line back to the crown. I'll comb that down. All right. So then the next section, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find where the head starts to curve, right? So I hold my comb here and I tilt it back just a little bit. That little rock that happens right there, that's going to be my fringe area. So I'll comb that down. Those of you guys that have watched classes with me before, I don't change up sectioning too much because I'm basing it on the round of the head. So that's our first parting here. Now I'm going to come down just like this. My aim is for the edge of the eyebrow. And now I've got my triangle section right there. Here we go. Looks pretty good. All right, so twist that up, clip it away. See some of you guys, Anise said you just signed up for the class. Thank you so much. Excited about it. Can't wait. All right. So now, next section, I'm going to go to the top angle here. So I've got this triangle that I created for the fringe. Now what I want to do is I want to comb the hair kind of back, and I'm going to follow the parietal ridge, which is the curve of the head. If you look at it from here, it's right where the head starts to curve. So if you even put your comb on the head, kind of rock it back and forth, you'll know where that bend happens. So I'll comb the hair back just like that. And then I'm going to follow that parietal ridge back to the crown area into a point. I'll show you guys what this line looks like. I know you can't see it too well from this angle, but you'll be able to see how I twist it all up. Going to clip this out of the way for a sec, hold it in place. Now we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side here. Key to clean sections is to get the hair moving in the direction you're going to take your parting. So I really get it detangled, worked through. Now I'm going to follow to that point in the back. Comb this hair out. So I haven't said this yet, but if you guys have a question, you guys that are new to the classes here, just type Q and put your question. That way I can see it in the chat easily, because this is a one-man band show right now. So I'm trying to watch the chat section, cut hair, think about things all at the same time. So it just helps me out if you write Q and then put your question. All right, cool. So now, got that to a point in the back. And we're gonna clip that away. See if that clip will hold that amount of hair. All right, cool. So let me show you guys from the front view here. Go a little bit. Add a little bit more hair in there. So all this hair that I've now sectioned away on both sides, this is going to be the shortest section. It's going to really create that mullet feel. Now the sides here, I'm going to cut concave, and I'm really going to create short pieces, but then it's going to get long real fast through it. So those are kind of the key things that I'm thinking about when I'm going through to cut this. I also want this to be nice and round, and I want it to get longer towards the back. So when I cut these concave layers, I'm going to initially start out and bring the hair up here and slide through with the carving comb. So let's see. Nope. Let's see. I see a couple cues here. All right, Jess. Thank you. Did you have a great vacation? Is your watch charged? And who did you miss the most? Funny. So yes, my watch is charged today. Happens to be 92% actually. Second, yes, I had a great vacation. We went to the beach, had a great family getaway for a week, and then I spent the last week just catching up on a bunch of stuff. I filmed 8 different videos for YouTube, so those have been popping out if you guys have been following along. And what you guys will notice if you look at my channel is that these live classes are great. I love them because they're interactive and I get to meet you guys. But unfortunately, for some reason, the reach of just a regular video is so much higher, which is why I always want these classes to be shared. But so I started putting out, extra videos just to keep that audience entertained, people that don't want to sit through these classes. So, but thank you for asking. It was great. Why don't you use a real model? Because I chose to do this class. So here's the thing. So Beverly, that's a great question. Let me actually pop here and talk to Beverly for a sec. So I use mannequins, and this question comes up a lot, and I'll have to say this all the time because it's always new people asking it. But I use mannequins because I'm here to teach you guys a specific technique. I'm an educator, so I'm not so this is what I do, right? So I'm always just teaching. And I'll decide I want to teach a technique today or yesterday or whenever. Yesterday I decided to do this cut because I saw it and I wanted to put it out there. So I have a bunch of mannequins and I just decided to teach that way. I don't think that teaching this on a human is really that helpful for anybody, because that human doesn't have hair like you have or your guest has. So everybody has different hair. So whether it's mannequin hair or a human, it's always going to be a little bit different. So what you have to pay attention to when I'm teaching is technique, not the haircut itself. So you'll be able to use parts of this haircut to create this haircut on your guest, but you won't be able to use it all. So just, those are kind of key things that you got to keep in mind there. All right. Hope that helps. yeah, Emma, this video will stay on the channel for sure. And I'll also, I will also repost it as a smaller video because I'm recording it as well. All right, here we go. So I used Donald Scott Prepare just to spray on the hair. This has coconut and what is it? Pure coconut and sunflower oil. I use it. It's for razor cutting. So it's basically a cutting lotion. It gives a really nice slip to the hair and helps keep the hair nice and healthy. I also popped new blades into this carving comb. So a lot of people are scared of razors, but you don't need to be as long as you use new blades often. So here we go. Ready? So we're going to take a diagonal back parting to start. So I'll go right here, diagonal back. We want the weight of this haircut to flow off of the face. So I'm going to bring it out just like this. I want to zoom in a little bit. Sorry guys. There we go. So bring the hair out straight out from the head. So I don't want too much over direction. I definitely don't want to over direct back because what does that do? As soon as I over direct back, pushes the weight towards the face. I want this entire haircut coming off of her face. So you got to make sure it's coming straight out from the head. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide and glide through. And I'm just going to soften as soon as I get to those ends. Okay. So definitely creating disconnection, creating short pieces in there. And that'll start to pull that already. It pops right off of her face. So now I take another section right next to it. Just like this. I'll take half of what I just cut because now we're traveling. So I take half of that and then right here, pull the hair straight out from the head. Now, actually, let me show you the overhead because this is kind of a big deal here. So a lot of people would think straight out, they go like this and pull it. But what's happening is there's a curve right here in the head shape. And that curve makes me need to come over here and cut it. If I go right here, I'm over directing it. I'm already starting to push a little bit of weight forward. So be really aware that that curve of the head is constantly moving back. You're not cutting on a flat surface. So I bring that over here, elevate it straight out from the head. I got my 100% cutting side, and now I'm gonna slide, glide through, and then lay off that pressure towards the end so I don't cut all the hair off. And now I've got my next section cut. All right. Bree, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, take a little bit of the old. A little bit of old. A little bit of new. Comb that section out. Bring it straight out from the head. Slide, and then give up at the end. So now I'm just gonna kind of quickly work through it at this point because it's the same. We're repeating until we get to back here in the higher density area. So grab some guide, grab some new, bring it back straight out from the head. Slide, give up. So then I'll take a look at this horizontally. Just make sure that I kind of have a line going there because it should be nice and round, should be flowing back. All right, this is getting fun. This stuff will all cut into it later, so it won't be so disconnected. We'll connect it a little bit, but that disconnection is what makes a mullet, right? So now everything is going to come to this point. Now it's stationary in the back. I want to let that weight, let that movement kind of really start to roll back. So I'll take a section for my guide, and it's coming from this point that we talk about a lot, right? This is the the part where this density is all the same, from here to here, this is all the same. Then from here back, this is how thick it is all the way around, right? So you have to pay attention to that. Now we're working in the thicker part, so it's totally cool. I can go a little more aggressive with it. Just make sure that I don't cut that length off throughout the cut. All right, so straight out from that section. Remember, this is gonna be now stationary. So we're straight out, slide, give up. Now I'll bring in another piece, another section, and I'm gonna bring it to that point right there. So this is gonna come straight out. Who can post in the chat what's happening as I over direct this to the behind the ear? What's going on? So again, I can even take from this point in the very back. I can condense it now. I'm a big fan of condensed cutting at this current environment that we're at in the salon. When you can condense cut, it's the best. What that means is I'm taking this pretty much this entire section, I'm gonna comb it up and cut it because that saves time, and because it's stationary, it's okay to condense it. So I'm bringing it over to that point. Let me go overhead here. All right, cool. You're removing weight. Yes, I'm removing weight, but I'm removing it, Lynn, from the same point. So it's all coming to this point, and then I can slide, and the carving comb, the beauty of this tool is that it has a really strong set of blades in it. So it can cut hair so much better than your typical razor. So now take a look at this. This is super cool. Let me go here. So you can see these short pieces, how they come off the face there, but then you've got that length already. But then because we over directed everything from this center back and brought it to behind the ear, you pull a little bit of extra length, which to me makes this haircut a little more versatile, a little more connected in the back, a little less extreme mullety, just soft mullet. So think about that. Let me see here. So you can see that little extra weight popping through it. Cool. What do you guys think so far? Creating length for the mullet. Yeah. All right, cool. By over directing the sides, you're establishing weight towards the center back. We got some smart ones in the chat. Good job, good job. All right, cool. Savara, you got some cool hair in that pic. All right, so let's cut the other side. Now, you see the difference? Nice, fun, short layers, nice long hair. Somebody on YouTube's gonna go, I liked it before. How'd you do that cut? Happens every time. All right, let me go here. Sorry, focus in. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. Now, this doesn't have to be identical, but it has to be very close, right? So what I'll do is I'll take a look at the other side, see what length I cut, kind of see where that's hitting, which is right about that cheekbone area. So then I take my next section here, diagonal back. So we've got a diagonal back line. And again, it's gonna come straight out from the head. Like this, straight out, not straight back to me, straight out. There. And then I want to see that this top piece here is going to hit that cheekbone area. So I'm just eyeballing it. Error on it being a little bit longer. There you go. Cool. So again, diagonal back. Remember, this is traveling for now. You could, so this is where I don't want you to take this haircut and be like, I have to cut it that way. You could just have this all stationary. My problem with that is that it's gonna make the back too long at that point. All right, straight out from the head, like that. Take my razor in and slide and give up. So you go in with a little bit of tension and then you drop that tension off so it doesn't continue to cut through the hair. You could also section off that disconnection if you wanted to. I just like to work with it the way it is. All right, again, another diagonal back parting. Turn it. All right. Straight out. Slide, give up. Last one. All right, just like that. What's up, Facebook? You must be sharing today because there's a lot of people on Facebook. Appreciate that. Keep hitting that share button. All right, straight out from the head. I'll turn this so you can see better. Like that. Straight out from the head. Slide, give up. Now, that is our side section. We've moved all the way to behind the ear. Now I'm gonna take from the center back here and comb everything up and over to me. Actually, I'm gonna show you guys this from the back. So I'm gonna bring everything over. The bottom doesn't matter, so I'm not cutting that. So I bring everything over, condensed. And then I slide right behind the ear, slide, and give up. Fun. All right. You guys having a good time? Let me know in the chat. Love to see that. Where are you watching from? Post that. Getting there. So you can see, let me show you, let me pull the picture up here of the curly. So you can kind of see how those edges, right? Those edges kind of get curly. I mean, obviously this isn't styled, but you can see, and then it gets longer towards that bottom, right around the jawline. It just drops longer, but it has a nice little wave to it. So we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. Cool. I see all your places. All right. So let's go to the next here. Got my carving comb. Now we're going to move into the fringe. The fringe, when you look at it, see if I can pull this picture up here. So it's nice and soft, right? So you got those like kind of wispier parts in there. So that's where I want to cut. I want to start this cut. I want to create that kind of vibe, which is pretty simple using the razor. All right. So I'm going to take a vertical line straight down the center. See if I can brighten this up a little bit. All right, so vertical line straight down the center. Just like that. Trying to think if the top view might be the best for you guys. Let me show you how I'm going to elevate it, and then I'll show you from the top view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around here, and I want to leave some heaviness in the fringe, so I don't want to layer it fully like this. So I'm not going to hold it straight up. I want to drop my elevation a slight bit, so it's more right along the lines of this coming out from the head. And then that's going to be the basis of the entire top that we're going to cut. So from this point here, I'm going to bring, actually, I'll just cut it like this. So I'm coming straight out from the head, straight over the nose, like that. And I'm going to work this carving comb back and forth and draw a line. Cool. It's right there. Now I'm going to take the piece next to it. Go here. Pop. So now I've got these two pieces of the triangle here, right? I'm going to take this piece of the triangle, go right to this one. Over to me. In my hand. Here, slight elevation. Cut it. That gives me a nice angled fringe. Same thing on this side. Over to me. Over to the middle. Elevation. Hit fingers parallel to that parting, that triangle. Work it down. So now, when we end up with the shortest point in the center and a couple longer points towards the outside, even a straggler there. So now I'll like fluff up the fringe a little bit, just see how it wants to lay naturally. And then what I'll do is I'll kind of pinch cut some of these pieces just slightly to match it up to the length that I want it. Now, I don't want to do too much because it's wet. So only if I see real long pieces in my pinch cutting right now. And then when I get into the dry cut portion, when I do my finalizing stuff, that's when I'll really go in to cut it. All right. So now we're going to let out the top section. So let me show you guys here. This is the top point. I'm going to let that out. I'm going to comb all of that forward. Let me see. Yeah. Comb it forward. All right. Now I'm going to go straight down vertical. Part that away. Same thing. And actually, I'm going to move to my scissor because I'm allowed to, because I make the rules today. Because I feel I could cut that with a razor, but I feel more comfortable the way that I want to cut it with using a scissor. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so I've got my scissor. Now I'm standing right here. I've got my guide from the previously cut fringe section, and I'm going to elevate it up, and I'm going to point cut to match kind of my razored feel. All of this the same length, following the round of the head 90 degrees. This is where people look at those basics that they learn in beauty school, and you're never going to do a full 90-degree haircut really, but you will do pieces of 90-degree haircuts. So again, goes back to learn technique, not haircuts, right? Same thing. I'm going to draw a section next to it. This is all going to be traveling, following the head shape, straight up from where it lives. And I'll show you guys a new angle on the next section. All right. That. Flip it. Got our new section here. Matching up with our fringe. Working our way all the way to the back. Got one little bit more. And this is connecting in with that side as well. There we go. See where we're at. Now we're going to start working center to the opposite side. Same thing. All right. Sorry, I was reading the chat there a little bit. So I'm currently using a Mizutani scissor. This is my scissor that I helped design and is available on our shop as well. And all the other Mizutani scissors, which we have payment plans for. So you guys can just break it up so it's not so crazy if you need scissors. I'm just going through and really just cutting this all at 90 degrees on the top. Nothing fancy happening. Bring it across, straight up in the air. My guide comes from the previous section. Walk my hands back. So even if you guys don't want to cut a mullet, please understand that these are techniques, right? And you could do a lot of different cuts with it. Mullets are fun though. Even just utilizing the breakdown of consultation, looking at multiple pictures. Get in there. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So now that we've done that, I'm going to throw in a little bit of Joico Defy Damage. This is the protection shield is what I want to say. So I'll put a little bit of that in my hand. This is going to help. It's a thermal protectant. Not too much hold, but I don't really want hold in this. I just really want to protect her hair before I blow it dry. I'm going to use quite a bit of hot tools on it. So I go through, work that in the hair. Smells delicious. Not that song. We'll do our blow dry song. So I'll work this through here. You see those disconnections and all that movement on top? Super cool. And that's a mullet. Yep, that's right, Lynn. It is. All right, cool. So now I'm going to use my Ergo Diamond Head paddle brush. I love this thing. It's just a smaller version of a regular paddle brush, but it's tiny, so it's great for especially shorter lengths of hair, men's hair, pixie cuts, bobs, anything. I just love the tension of a paddle brush, but I don't have to have the bulkiness of a paddle brush, right? All right, so now I'm going to start with a flat wrap technique. We're going to see if I can blow dry this before the song ends. Here we go. Enjoy yourselves. Ask your questions. I'm going to start answering them as soon as I'm done. So close. So close. All right. This is also going to be a great lesson for people watching to understand that you just can't do like a quick blow dry and have something look great. Like you have to finish it. And not only do you have to finish it with an iron, but I also need to finish it with cutting. So This is a very basic cut, even though it's, you know, it's just a structured cut, even though we did it with a razor. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, iron it, and then I'm going to go in and take out some weight in certain areas, mess around with this length here, add some stuff to it, because this is all not really cut hair right now, right? Looks like it isn't too, but I didn't really cut into that because I just slid. So only this was cut and then I just let it go. So all of this needs to be cut into before the haircut can be called, you know, complete. So that's what we're going to work on now. So I'm just going to iron it real quick. Work it nice and smooth to the head shape. We'll go through here. Just want to iron out these disconnects. Now I'm not going to curl them, but I am going to add a slight bend to it. So as I go out like this, there we go. So as I come out, I put the iron in and I slightly bevel it as I go down the hair shaft because I want it to have a slight bend to it, especially for doing the dry cutting stuff that I'm going to be doing. Later on, you can always smooth it straight if you want to, or whatever fits the style, or curl it, whatever. But for cutting, I like to have that slight bevel so I can see the weight when I go in to do my detail work. Same thing up here, slight bevel. And also notice that I don't put the hair into the brush and then attack it with the iron. I cut the section down so it's not too wide, and then I hold it in my hand like I'm going to cut it with tension, and then I put the iron in and I give it that slight bevel from there. So you can see how it starts to smooth out already. It looks totally different than that side. That's a little bit of styling work, and now all of a sudden it's looking a lot better. So people have to put in a little effort, a little bit of work. People love these haircuts they see in magazines, but they need to understand that that person, before they got picture taken in that magazine, got their hair done, right? So they didn't do it at home, I'm sure. And if they did, they spent time on it. So important to know those facts. So I'm just going to continue through ironing. Do it as quick as I can for you guys. This is going to look super cool. We're done. Adele, so I see your question. I'll do a little Q&A while I'm ironing because I can see the chat there. Adele is asking, let's see. There we go. Adele's asking, if I watch your cutting session classes, will I be able to watch later privately? So yeah, either way, so I've already kind of planned this out. If for some reason Zoom doesn't give me a link for later, I always record everything I do. So I'll be recording it and I'll repost it to a private link for anybody that signed up. So you guys can always reference back to it and rewatch it. Yeah, and I lost my camera. It's coming back. That happens. There we go. Yeah, Sharon, that's the hardest part. She's saying it's too late to get a tripod and mannequin for your class. So I will do it again. Some people are lucky enough they do have a tripod already, and Pivot Point can ship pretty fast. But if you didn't get one by now, it's definitely getting a little bit late, or it would cost maybe too much to get one. So you can always either bring a friend. I mean, we're going to do a lot of just basic techniques and up to some advanced dry cutting stuff. So you could always get a model every week and alter it a little bit to them. That's a thought. Or just you can wait for the next one and I'll try to put the date out soon so you guys can get signed up and order your mannequins. Almost there. Almost there. This isn't the most fun part for you guys, I know. How do you sign up for the Zoom class? So all you have to do is go to Shop FSE. So right here, if you go to Shop FSE, that website, you can sign up. It's $99 for 4 sessions. So it's basically $25 a session. And it's every Monday for 4 weeks. And it's going to be super fun. And I'll be able to see you guys cutting hair or just see you watching, whatever. Watch you ask questions, all that stuff. Be a little more interactive. Interesting back here, huh? That's a mullet. Does the cutting lotion with the hair down... Sorry, Zelda, I'm trying to read your question. Does the cutting lotion with the hair down when you flat iron? Weigh the hair down, that's probably what you're saying. Really, no. I mean, if you use way too much of it, then I would say yeah, but I find on blonde hair it's the best, probably because it needs a little bit of that oil. But no, it doesn't seem to weigh the hair down. Now you can use too much of that, the Joico protective shield. I've used too much of that before, so I try to go a little bit lighter on that this time. But other than that, a nice flow to it, right? So funny. Somebody tuning in right now is like, what in the world? Somebody will call this a Karen too, for sure. 100%. That's my new most commented word on YouTube now. All right, guys, almost there. Why is pivot point tripod so expensive? If you've ever used non-pivot point tripods and then used a pivot point tripod, you would understand. It's the build quality, the weight. So you could buy a lightweight tripod, but I hate them because anytime I'm doing anything like blow drying or styling or whatever it is, it starts to fall over. So having a little bit heavier tripod is nice. This swivel here, it locks in, swivels however you want it. That is, I couldn't do without that now. And then, so I mean, those are kind of the basic things. And then I've also had tripods where the leg adjustments, they just break after a year of using it. I've had these for about 5 years now, and they're fine. So it's just a quality thing. I really kind of, I obsess over quality of things, because when you spend money that you work hard for, you want it to be worth it. You don't want to buy junk. Right? All right, almost there. Sorry, I keep saying that. Just want it to be right. Okay. All right, cool. So we're at that point there. Now I'm going to do some dry cutting techniques so, and we're gonna come out with this result right here in just a moment. Okay? All right, so here we go. She's got blonde hair to go with my dark outfit. It fits perfect. All right, so I'm gonna work through the top first. I just wanna really create a little bit more texture in there and connect some of these pieces. We flew through it, so being able to kind of cross-check, that's what we're gonna do at this point. So cut everything vertical straight down the head. Now I'm gonna cut everything side to side and just bring it in.